here. I say it with pride because it's one thing, a good gallery will show exhibitions, but a great gallery will actually circulate them. And we are one of 3 galleries that worked for over 5 years on this exhibition. And so it's great. It's a great show, and the curators have done a wonderful job, and all 3 of them are here with us tonight. And some of you know, because I've said this, when I was going to art school, William Kurelek was not really wasn't considered a very cool artist, and consequently, I kind of never really liked his work. But over the last 30-some-odd years, he's actually become a better painter, and I really like the work now, and I think I like it more after seeing this fantastic exhibition that it reframes his work in a contemporary way. I think it's really an important exhibition. So there's going to be a number of people coming up to say a few words, and the first is Denise Roy, who's our Member of Parliament and also Deputy Speaker. Denise, I've been to her office several times in Parliament Hill, and if you're ever in Ottawa, I recommend you make an appointment to visit her. Her hospitality is great, so please welcome Member of Parliament for Victoria and Deputy Speaker of the House of Commons, Denise Roy.
Thank you, John. And I'm thrilled to be here this evening for the opening in Victoria of this outstanding exhibition, William Kurelek, The Messenger. I was thrilled when I saw that, I learned in Ottawa that Victoria was on the tour, and that started actually in Manitoba, where I grew up. And William Kurelek, unlike you, John, has always spoken to my heart because he really captures that rural Manitoba landscape that that at least his work about memory, childhood memory, really speaks to me personally. And he found a way, and this is just an incredible exhibition, but he really found a way to bring to life, I think, the sense of place, our prairie heritage, and this incredible cultural diversity that we have in Canada. And Kurelek became nationally significant during his life, which is an accomplishment, I think, that eludes many artists, most artists, but I think we can understand why, because even if he were an emerging artist now, I think he would speak to us. It really is the way he touches on the landscape, human condition, community, religion, I think speaks to all of us. And I'm just going to say a few more words because I want to comment, I must comment on this incredible catalog that has been put together for this show that I understand was published by Friesens in Manitoba, one of the few Canadian publishers left, so hats off to that. And I was so pleased to see how many sponsors were behind this show. It really took the collaboration and the initiative we heard earlier Mary Jo Hughes and people like John Tucker and the other curators, but it also took support from many branches of government, including the federal government. And when you see how Kurelek records our cultural history, our story, we see how important it is for the government to be part in supporting the arts in Canada. And I just want to say that my colleagues and I are really going to continue to push for that support. And just finally, I want to congratulate and thank you, John and Mary Jo Hughes here in Victoria for bringing all of us together in this exhibit. I think Victoria is in for a terrific treat. Thank you.
The pride of St. Barnabas, Manitoba, Denise Roy. Now, greetings from the city. Jeff Young is here. He is not only the acting mayor tonight, he is the city councillor, and he is the chair of the CRD, which provides funding support for the gallery, one of those good government support systems that Denise was talking about. I ran into Jeff, we were this afternoon, early afternoon, we were both under the hot sun watching our mayor, Dean Fortin, and Pamela Anderson give talks on the at the corner of government in Bellevue. And so please welcome Jeff Young from the city.
I guess like Denise, I wasn't cool when William Kurelek's books on the Prairie Boys came out, and I didn't know he wasn't cool. I thought he was a great illustrator, and I loved the books just because they were interesting, and I thought he wrote well. I loved the Lumberjack book as well. Obviously, there are a lot more sides to Kurelek than I was aware of at that time, and this exhibition makes them clear. I'm really pleased that it's here, one of 3 cities in Canada that it'll be visiting, and I know a lot of people will want to come to see it. The works are interesting. There's lots to see and study in them. People enjoy them as I do. I'd like to think I was a little in advance, maybe, but but at least the world has caught up. So I'm very, very glad to see this exhibition put on, and I should also acknowledge that indeed the CRD, which is the CRD Arts funding, is participated in by most, although not all of the municipalities. If you're a non-participating municipality, talk to your council members, because that arts funding is substantial. It helps a lot of the arts organizations in this area, and as you can see by the logo up there, it's helped with this exhibition. Anyway, thanks again to the Art Gallery for organizing this great event.
With some sadness that I'm going to introduce the curator from the Art Gallery, the chief curator for, I guess it will be her final presentation here. Mary Jo Hughes has been working for about 5 years now, and she's leaving us, sadly, to work at the University of Victoria, so not going very far, but this is, wow, what a way to end it with this incredible show, this great gift to the gallery and to the city. So please welcome Mary Jo Hughes.
Stole my speech. I left it up here like a couple hours ago. I'm speaking on behalf of the curators for the project. There are actually 3 of us. I just happen to be the local one. And it's been a real honor to work with the other 2 curators. This was indeed a team project, and it's not just the exhibition. It's not just the book, there's also the website. We created a website to do with the exhibition, and I encourage you to look at that. That's kurelek.ca. And even a little film that was created for the exhibition that's on view in here, William Kurelek's studio. And that was mostly the work of Andrew Keir, one of the other curators. So the other 2 curators, and I'm going to ask them to wave enthusiastically when I, no, that's my son, when I introduce them. So Andrew Keir, who is obviously not out here. All right, Andrew. You can all tell him I thanked him. He must be in the exhibition. He actually didn't see the exhibition here yet, so you must be thrilled looking at it. But he's from the Winnipeg Art Gallery. And then there's Toby Bruce, right? From the Art Gallery of Hamilton. So we worked together on this over the last number of years. As Denise mentioned, and John, we got generous federal funding from the Museums Assistance Program through the federal government, through Canadian Heritage, and that's what made this possible, because we borrowed works from far and wide for the exhibition. The biggest cost is shipping and bringing artwork together. And here we have 85 of some of his finest, William Kurelek's finest pieces here, and only could be done because of this generous funding. But I do want to finish thanking Toby and Andrew, because it was a very wonderful project to work on. We came up with the idea to do the project years ago, Toby and I in particular, and then we brought Andrew on to the project. And so really we have to thank William Kurelek, who inspired us. And in choosing to undertake this project, we were drawn to the work of Kurelek on many levels. So first of all, who doesn't like his rich and his colorful memory paintings, his boyhood on the prairies that Denise talked about. We can all relate to the sweet nostalgia and also the heartache that he recounted for us. But more than that, we, the curators, were drawn to the deeper messages that his works communicate. So for those of you that are familiar with those boyhood scenes and the illustrated books, you will see that we try to impart to you, by the choices that we made, some of those paintings that have the deeper messages. In the exhibition, you can enter it from any way, but I'll just let you know that we sort of started in our minds with his tortured work of his 20s, when he struggled with depression. These are fascinating works, many that we borrowed from quite far from Britain and private collections. And they really lay the groundwork, what is to come later in the exhibition, when he converts to Catholicism. And this was a life-changing event for him that really gave a purpose to his art production. He became a self-proclaimed evangelist of sorts, using his paintings as the medium through which he spoke. From there, his paintings stand as apocalyptic warnings, sometimes terrifying, you'll see, but always fascinating. And you'll find you're going to have to come back to the exhibition more than once, because these paintings are full of details, wonderfully articulated details that you can't take in one viewing. And then Kurelek kind of figured out that he couldn't just scare people into accepting his message. And so he created sometimes more subtle appeals to viewers, keeping in mind the power of something greater than all of us is there, that have to keep us away from the trappings of a material world. In any event, his works blend a captivating way where his commentary on the human condition can meld with this joy and celebration of the world around him. We hope that the curators, and I hope I'm speaking for them, The Messenger is an enlightening and captivating experience for you, as it was for us when we were doing the research and presenting this for you. So we've drawn together 85 of his works from, as I said, from across Canada and internationally. And some of the lenders are here tonight, and I thank them. We couldn't have done it without them. I mean, this is the exhibition just comes from so many public and private collections. But the people I want to thank most of all is the Kurelek family. These are kind, generous people, just like, and all of them, like William Kurelek, very, very quiet people, not wanting to make a big fuss about themselves, but really exuding that kindness that comes through in his work. And that's what it really was about for him. And I should let you know that any of the sales he made was course, he provided for his family, but he also gave generously to charity across the world, actually, internationally, and that's something that a lot of people don't know. So when he was selling his work, it was really about the greater good. Tonight I want to thank in particular Iris Gauthier, who is William's youngest sister, and she's here today representing the family along with her husband and son. And it's just I don't know if Iris will wave her hand. There she is there. Everywhere we've had the show, this is the last venue. It was in Hamilton and it was in Winnipeg. We've had members of the Kurelek family coming to celebrate with us. I would also like to thank the staffs at 3 venues for their hard work. Toby, Andrew, and I are all grateful. We got to do fun work. We got to do that detective work and going through the archives. We love that stuff. It's great. And often our staffs got to do the less than glamorous tasks. Securing the loans and building the crates and painting the walls, all sorts of things like that. And I want to thank them. This is vital work. We, again, wouldn't have the exhibition without them. In particular here, I would like to thank the Collections Department for mounting the exhibition so beautifully. And that includes Laurie and Roger and Corey and Stephen and Chris. And I think Roger and Corey are both here, and Laurie was here. And I want to thank Jennifer Cook for all her work on the event tonight, and the communications and a lot of the graphics work that she did for the exhibition. And also the educators, Jillian and Tanya, who are presenting the programs for us over the course of the summer. And my fellow curators, Nicole and Barry, who have just been there for me. And everybody else at the gallery. And I say this as I'm leaving the gallery in a week also, because I've been here about 5 years, and I'm sure they have put up with so much with me, and particularly I've been talking for 5 years about William Kurelek, and they've risen to the challenge, and I think are as enthusiastic as I am now about the exhibition. Finally, I kind of have to do double duty up here, because we invited somebody else to speak tonight, but he couldn't make it. He just wasn't up to traveling from Toronto. And that is Avram Isaacs. Now, Av Isaacs is a national treasure who fostered many of Canada's most renowned artists of the second half of the 20th century. He owned the Isaacs Gallery in Toronto and was Kurelek's art dealer and employer. It's Kurelek. He gave William Kurelek his first break and hired him as a picture framer, but more importantly, he recognized how important the paintings were that William Kurelek was doing, and he gave him his first exhibition and then continued to show his work regularly throughout Kurelek's life and sell his work as well. And Av was very important to us in the project. He lent a painting to us. He also wrote an essay for the catalog, and he shared with us his memories of William Kurelek and also helped us find paintings. It was really hard to find a lot of the paintings, and he gave us leads on the private collectors that bought his works over the years. He would have liked to have been with us, but as I say, he wasn't feeling quite up to it. So he sent this message for me to read. Just pretend this is Av Isaacs standing here. Or just listen to it. It's really his words that are coming through me. So what he wrote is, "It's well over 50 years since Bill Kurelek walked into my then very modest art gallery and showed me his amazing paintings. It's important to note that at the time and subsequently, the art world was dominated by the powerful abstract expressionist school of New York. Bill Kurelek went his own way. He followed his own vision and found his way to his own powerful form of realism. In his lifetime, Bill created well over 1,000 paintings. I think it was even more than that, actually. He painted Canada from east coast to west, from the Arctic to the Canadian-US border. His life was devoted to his work. He allowed himself only 4 or 5 hours of sleep per night. On one of our plane trips together, Bill asked me to look after the luggage, and then please not talk. He wanted to devote his time to drawing. It was a profound experience to be part of Bill Kurelek's life. On that first appearance at my gallery, he was applying for a framing job. The pictures in his sample frames were his own paintings. They produced an immediate and lasting impact on me. Which brings us today to this magnificent retrospective. Congratulations to the curators, and prepare yourself for an immediate and lasting impact. Thank you.